Stepping up my game. I'm a groove student, yes I am. With groove, I know I can. Read my master plan. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm grooving. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. Groove Nation inspires me to bust loose and break free. I'm dancing to my dreams, bursting at the seams. I'm feeling groove-alicious. Groove knows who I am. 'Cause now is my time to have a groove state of mind.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. I'm Donna Fox. I am the CMO of Groove Digital, but I am here as a Groovester, really. Let me tell you why we are here today. This year, I have decided that I'm going to stop being the shoemaker who's, if you remember the fable, the shoemaker's children had no shoes. The shoemaker wore no shoes because he was so busy making shoes for other people. I am very much in that boat. I have not updated my own personal website since 2014. Since I was an entrepreneur. Since then, I've gone in-house with companies, and my own personal business slipped by the wayside. I decided that this year is the year that I'm going to get back in touch with Groove members. And one of the ways that I'm going to do that is to remember what it's like to be having a side gig at the same time that you're trying to operate your regular job or business. That's the situation that I'm in today. So that's what it was, the shoemaker and the elves. Thanks, wellness coach. I have decided that I'm going to start working on making my hobby into a business, and my hobby is art. So as part of that plan, I sat down and thought, well, what will I need to do? In addition to improve in art, I also need to start a social presence, start developing a following. Even before I work on my website, even before I begin to create content and have my e-commerce presence up there so I can sell something, I need to start developing an audience to sell. And when it comes to artwork, a visual medium, and also in today's climate, the way to do that is through video. Nothing is more powerful than video. But here's the problem. I am video phobic. It is not hard for me to get on camera and talk. I've been doing that for years and years and years. What is difficult for me is getting over the hump of learning the new technology. If it is, I click on a button, I'm on StreamYard, I'm on video, it does the recording. I don't bother to edit it. It just goes out. It's no problem at all. But when I think about how to edit and create social reels and social videos and go through the process of recording the artwork as I'm creating it, I feel completely out of my element. So I called up my very good friend, Deb Cole, who is the smartest person that I know when it comes to this kind of stuff. And she said, I'm happy to help you. Let's get on a call and talk about it. And I said, let's get on a call with our members. So that's why we're here today. You're going to look over our shoulder. as Deb gives me some training on social video. And then, of course, all of you get that training as well. So without further ado, I want to bring on my very, very good friend, a delightful groovester and amazing social marketing maven, Deb Cole. Welcome, Deb.
Aloha. It's good to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. I am so excited for this. Yeah, what do I do? That's my question.
I love that you are putting yourself on the chopping block and go like, all right, hey, just show me how to do this, and then share it with the members at the same time instead of like getting the secret sauce, right? Like a lot of us do that, right? When we go to events, we have hallway conversations and we share the really good stuff, the secret sauce with each other that we may not share on stage because it's like, this is the secret sauce. And one of the things I was saying either to you or someone else recently is that with all of the apps and all of the AI technology for video editing, including the apps within the social channel itself, like IG, TikTok, right? Snapchat. I'm like, I'm going to just shut down my video production company because this one app that I'm going to share with you, it would literally just put it out of business. Like you just don't need to do the time, labor intensive Final Cut Pro editing anymore.
I think that's amazing. I definitely have some PTSD from audio editing back in 1999, 2001 or so, when I first started to get online as an infopreneur. And we would record audio, crappy audio at the time. We actually recorded paid content via cell phone, because that's how we knew how to do it. And then I would be in there trying to edit the audio and spend hours, and it would take forever, and I'd be in tears. And that's the PTSD that has stopped me from doing social video of any kind. So I am really, really excited today to face that fear, get over the hump, stretch my comfort zone a little bit, and expand my universe.
I love this. And for those of you watching, welcome, aloha, love my Groove stars. I like to say stars in the making as in video stars. What I'm going to share with you, Donna, is the same thing I'm going to share with those of you watching. It's kind of like peering over our shoulder as we have a little session here. But the best part about it is that any fear that you had from technology, like what you were just talking about, Donna, for audio, if you're afraid of, oh my gosh, I don't know how to edit video, or I don't have a big budget for the tech, that will literally go out the window. I believe everything would be under 300. And that's probably even as long as you have an iPhone or a Samsung, right? Like Android, starting with that, because obviously that's the most expensive piece of equipment. But if you have that, that's really all you need. And then a few other pieces of tech. And then I'm going to share my favorite apps and software that you can use in order to apply this and start video editing. So that's the good news, Donna, is that everything that was even just 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago or 20 years ago, even 5 years ago or 1 year ago, it's so much easier. So, and then all the costs have gone down. We talked about the TV studio that I worked in, and like thousands of dollars of equipment had to go in, and now you can get it for hundreds. Like the lighting used to be $3,000, now it's $300 for a 3-point lighting. And if for your purpose, you want to go on the cruise and you want to film your art and on the go. And that's what I think a lot of people want. And not to mention the channel wants, right? IG wants, TikTok wants. They don't want the formal, sitting behind a desk with perfect lighting. They don't want that anymore. Like if you just want to go, right? Like the big X, they don't want the big high production because people feel like, oh, that's highly produced, I'm being advertised to. If it's like some kind of janky little thing with like a shaky iPod or selfie stick, I'm going to pull this without spilling water over, right? Like this is the GoPro selfie stick, like, and it's kind of shaky, but yet still stable. There's a little delicate mix. They go, oh, this is like caught on tape. This is caught on the fly, and they're more likely to watch it. So that's the first thing to just go, all right, I don't have to worry about being so super productive. So let's dive into tech first, right?
Well, and to add to that, I think that desire to have authenticity and reality is shown in the hottest and fastest growing social app right now, which is Be Real. Be Real is a fascinating social app that just gives you, I forget what it is, 30 seconds warning that it's going to take a picture of you. to post to be real, and then you get ready to take a picture, and it's the whole idea behind it, and the reason why it's the fastest growing is because it allows you a real glimpse into people's lives. I think that's what people want now.
Yeah.
They want vulnerability. They want authenticity. They want
Mhm.
the days of slick and professional are kind of over. There's still room for it,
Yep.
but
Completely. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
which should be empowering for everybody within earshot right now. It's certainly empowering for me.
Yeah. Like if you look behind me, I've got the Rodecaster, the ATEM. Actually, it's not the mini. It's like I got the max. I almost could throw that away. Like, I mean, I'm not, right? Because I do some on-site production,
Mhm.
but it's only when I go to produce a big event, like when I go to Flight Club in San Diego and we're switching and we're doing live editing. That's great. It's a 3-camera shot, right? You're producing it for educational purposes, but for social video, and let's just define that for everyone. Social video is essentially shot on your iPhone. Again, I should just say mobile phone, right? Vertically. And this is from the TV production world that I lived in for so long. It's always been cinema style, horizontal. That's no longer the case. You're talking 80 to 90% of the people who are watching your video are watching it on their phone, and they're watching vertical style. So TikTok Reels, which is Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, owned by the same company. And then what's really exciting is YouTube Shorts. So YouTube Shorts is one of the best, and this is my prediction for this year, is if you hated TikTok and you still hate it or you're afraid of it, fine, cool, ignore it. Go to YouTube Shorts. And what's funny is all you need to do to upload a vertical video to Shorts, you have to keep it under a minute. And here's the hack to write down if you're taking notes or if you got your Post-it. Like I'm gonna go New York style, talk fast and furious, because John is from
Please
the East
do.
Coast. I'm from the East Coast. So here's the first thing that you want to write down, and this is going to save you a ton of time when you're producing your video. So Donna, when you're producing your video, make sure when you upload it to YouTube or Instagram or wherever, but specifically for YouTube, keep it under 59 seconds and 58 preferably. For some reason, when you put it to YouTube, we had a trailer for a movie that was coming out in September, and we uploaded it. It was a minute, and it somehow put 2 extra seconds on it, and it wound up putting it in the horizontal thread. So it looked janky. It was just like, here's this vertical, right? We all know that doesn't look good, right? It's the
Yeah, that's a hot
horizontal,
tip.
horrible. So this is hot tip, right? Make it under 58 seconds if possible, but 59, no more, because when you see a minute on your phone, it may be 60 seconds, 0.2, and then it will not put it in vertical. So the cool thing about YouTube is in your creator studio, there's just a little plus button at the top where you would normally upload a video. And now it just says upload shorts, right? It's just easy, super easy. You just upload it, and it knows if it's horizontal, it's going to upload it into your normal feed longer than a minute. If it's vertical, under a minute, under 58 seconds, write that down, then it will put it into the shorts feed. So that's a major tip there. So as you're filming vertically, keep it under a minute. Or
For short content, for Reels.
Short.
Longer
Yes.
content, you probably still want to go this way for YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're doing a show like this would be the only time. Long form content, TV style. But for social video is vertical video, right? Yeah. So it's a term coined social media video marketing, and we just combine it. So it's a short term. So people are calling it short form video content, right? Real, all of that. So it's just social video. That's what social video is. So film it on your phone. I finally just upgraded to the newest one, but I was using an 11 Pro Max. This is the 14 Pro Max. And I was using the 11 to film clients' content, realtors, doctors, and it was fine, right? So don't think you have to have the big Sony camera anymore. Like you just don't. You don't. And not to mention, when we did that, we just did a charity event in New York for Shamrock Way, and it was this bipolar rock and bowler at the bowling alley in Brooklyn, and he had the crew, right? And I'm directing the crew, and then it was 3 cameras, but then some things we did on our iPhone. Well, guess what? I was able to upload all of the iPhone footage to his site before the crew gave me all of the footage. And then I was like, hey, by the way, we need some of this footage, not just for the reel for next year's charity promotion, but we want to share it on social. And they're like, well, we have to colorize it, do this. I was just like, oh my gosh. Right. And I was like, you don't really have to, you just send it over. And they sent it over raw. and it looked blank, horrible. It was just like no color in it. So
Mm,
right now your iPhone or Samsung, by the way, Samsung probably takes better visuals, but this takes such good clarity and vivid images. So just use the iPhone. And then the next step is for you, Donna, you're going on the cruise. So you're going to do some art on a canvas. So for you, you can't just stand there with the selfie to film yourself. You want a tripod, but you want a traveling tripod. So this is one of my favorite ones. And I'm going to pull up a Word document with all of these links so we can drop them in. And actually,
great.
if Sansi is here, you could drop that link from my my workflow, my cheat sheet. So and it almost doesn't even matter the brand or whatever. This one is Victive. It's the AT26 Pioneer. But what I love about this is number one, you can pick it up. It's light, so you can put it in your backpack. And then if you see here, it's got all of these little, we can build our legs. It goes up to 81 inches, which
Wow.
means, yeah, you put it up and then you can look facing it or have it look down versus you're looking down at it. Like it's basically the tripod to be standing height, right? So
Got it.
your eye level with it. This was helpful. When I used to go film on the beach, I would put it I put my little small tripod and I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't tall enough. So I literally went like with my legs and sunk into the sand. So I'm here like this underneath the camera. Nobody knows it, right? I'm here like this so that I could be eye level. And I would have loved to have someone just filming the BTS, the behind the scenes of that, because that was more humorous than anything. And quite frankly, that would have been a funny video, especially since I teach people how to do social video. Like, hey, if you're not eye level, well, then you either got to just squat down like I'm doing here, or if you have sand, sink your feet into the sand so that you're eye level. But that one is 81 inches. So if Sansia is on, if you can just drop it from my masterclass notes. I've got
Looks
secret
like
notes
she
that I may
dropped
share with
the
y'all.
link in here. Let me get it from. She dropped it. This link. Well, I'll show you. It's right there. So I'm gonna have to go copy it, and then because she dropped it into YouTube, we're streaming on like 9 different channels right now. So
Right
we'll
on.
have to get that link dropped in here. But before I do that, and I will as soon as I ask you this next question, I'll show you what I have in terms
Mhm.
of a tripod. Because
Okay.
I gathered kind of everything that I have. I have a big giant one that I do not want to take with me, but I
Yeah.
have this cool little thing. Remember these?
Yes. That's
This is
excellent.
like a little gorilla thing,
Yes.
and these legs will wrap around anything. So I
Yep.
could like put it on my water bottle and then
Yes.
adjust the angle. So I thought that this would be good for recording like video of my work because I could set it here on something or a bench if I'm sitting on a bench and
Yep.
doing art, or if I'm at home and working, I could hook it anywhere. So this is kind of an interesting option that I have that I plan on
Yes.
bringing with me because it's so tiny. It's just
Yes.
super good for traveling.
Yeah, it's like to me, so when I started filming my realtor videos 5 years ago, I don't know how long, had a 2-camera crew and had a backpack, had stuff, had lighting, had a tripod, had all this stuff. Now all my equipment fits in my purse. And it's, it's kind of
Amazing.
like one of those like crossbody purses. So it's not a tiny purse, but it fits in my purse. So you have a small backpack or small fanny bag, right? That you're carrying around. You just put that in there and then you're video ready. So that's the first thing too. Mentally, people think, oh, I need all of these things. No, if you have that gorilla pod that you could put anywhere on a tree and a branch and then angle it toward your art, you are video ready. The other thing too is what I say that one of the biggest tips for video production is lighting, but you don't want to carry around expensive or heavy lighting, especially if you're going on a cruise and traveling light. So 2 things. One, everyone seems to have an old iPhone or Samsung. So bring that, put that on a tripod, turn on the flashlight. Now you've got lighting and without extra equipment. And then just use that phone for the extra camera or the extra shot or lighting when you need it. Or just use natural lighting. So wherever you are. So right now, so Donna, you have a window there where I have a window. If I open this up, maybe I'll try this. I can shut the lights off and then face your light. So
Mhm.
what I say is find your light and then face it. And then that will give you good lighting for your art. So wherever you're sketching on a canvas, have the canvas face the light so that the camera can see, right? Like
That makes
you
sense.
get it. Okay.
But if I wanted the B-roll, look at me using fancy terms. If I
Yep.
wanted the B-roll shot of me actually painting, where they see me and not the paint, maybe I
Yes.
would turn the easel so that I'm facing the light and the painting
Yes.
is to the back of it.
Yeah. So here you say you have 2 cameras. So again, this is next level and you don't have to do that, but like the next level of getting the 2 camera shots would be, one would be facing the art as you're doing it, and then the other would be facing you. And then you can have, so that's a great TikTok, AKA short, AKA reel, again, social video, because anytime you can switch up angles, you know, you're seeing the artist and then you're seeing what it's done. And then the other thing, we talked briefly, when you're doing this, you can film one camera where it's the whole thing and then put that on a time lapse. That would be really cool to see the whole thing that you did from start to finish. And maybe it took you a half hour or an hour, but they get it in a 30-second time lapse. It's like, boom, boom, whoa. People love that.
I definitely am interested in creating videos like that. And sometimes things take me hours and hours and hours to do.
Yes.
So that's a little overwhelming to me when I think about something that might be 2 hours worth of footage done over 10 sessions. How do I then handle all of that? Like I can get the pick up my phone, click the record button, but everything after that process is confusing to me. So I'm definitely fascinated with learning the software that you use for that.
Yeah. So let's dive into soft. So we've got the technology, your phone, face the light, and your tripod. You're ready to go. Right. I think that's,
And
yeah.
if you don't have a smartphone at this point, you're probably on the wrong webinar, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is your number one tool, right?
Okay.
Like, gosh, this can do any, I mean, think about it. Remember calculators? No, this is a calculator.
Yeah.
Remember measuring tape on a wall? Nope. That's in here. Like, it has everything. I don't think there's anything it doesn't have. It's fascinating tool. I go back to the 80s. I'm like, man, how did we survive? Like, I remember going to foreign country and I'm like, you know, you had a map, you were lost, you had the weird ringtone. Now I don't get the jitters and I don't get nervous when I fly anywhere around the world because everything's here, right? Your maps are here. Everything
Translator. Yeah.
is here. Yes. Yes. So everything is in here. So if you've got a smartphone, if you don't, go invest in one. And like, I just upgraded and now I'm on the T-Mobile plan where every year they just give me the latest and greatest. AT&T did that for the longest time. So for $200 a month, you always have the best piece of technology. So I'm going to dive into, I'm just going to do some old school here just to show you that you don't have to have anything fancy. I'm going to put up the phone to the camera and you're going to see it's called Spark Camera app right there in the corner with the big red button. It's like almost like a record. That is
Camera. Got it.
Spark Camera. So, and you see, actually, these are 2, and I'm going to pull up my share screen because I have this screenshot, but I just kind of wanted to show you that this is the stuff you can do for your reels. And people love this. When you get all fancy, people feel too overproduced. So again, this is the Spark Camera app right there. This is going to be your favorite button. I just opened it up. Oh, and it's now holding up one of them that I had, so I can show you how to edit it. But this is the Spark Camera app. And I'm just going to click on this real quick just to show you. I'm going to bring this over here. And then I'm going to show you my screenshot where it's a little bit maybe easier to see the images. So you go here. And I made a copy of this. So if I mess things up, I'll bring it to the microphone. Okay. So this is basically just clips. And then if I go over here and I hit the little scissor,
Yeah.
I hit the scissor, and then here are all of my clips. So throughout the night, this is a 4-hour night. This is the bipolar event. And so this is
So those
Frank
are just
Shamrock.
videos that
What's
you've
up?
done all night.
What's up?
Those are just videos that you've put together throughout the night.
Yep. And all I did, so say I don't want one of these. I'm like, oh, I don't like this clip. I looked at, I literally touch it. This is how easy it is. And boom, right in the delete and it's gone. Or I just let it go and it goes right back here. And then any of these clips. So for instance, here, this is one of my favorite. It's Frank showing how he's, setting up tripod, like all of our equipment. We're all doing it. Like this is just a charity thing. We're all just pitching in. So here this is the volume. I go like this and say I don't want any volume from my video because I have an audio, right? A music, some music on it. I just do that. And for the purpose of this, so you don't keep hearing it. But then this starts playing, and to edit it, all you have to do is say you don't want the first whatever. You just click this and go like this. And now it's only going to give you, see where, now this is where it'll start. And that's it. That is your video editing. Is that awesome?
That's crazy.
Right? So, and then
I can do this.
Yes. And then say you don't want the end part because like you see yourself touching the computer to, you know, turn the record off.
Yeah.
And you just drag this over here. And now you just have, say, a 1 second clip. So maybe this is, you know, this might be 5 minutes, but you just want this like 1 second or 3 second or whatever it is. This is the part. And you see it now, it's just playing this clip over and over. And then if I want to go back, I want more, I just take this and I go back up and I take this because this is probably my funniest clip. So that's not. So that's it. And then here, if I want to duplicate it, I can just hit this one here to duplicate it. This one, if I want to turn it around, and then again, delete. So I'm just kind of showing this briefly because once you download the Spark Camera app, it has videos, tutorial. So spend, you know, give yourself 15 minutes just to watch some of these. They're real quick, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and they'll give you the tutorial of all these little things to do. The other thing here is in the corner, I'm going to go out of this. I'm going to turn the volume down so you're not hearing it. But the other thing that's nice is you see this little tune, you know, the music note in the end.
Oh, yeah.
That you can click that, and they've got a whole bunch of music that is copyright free that you could add on to it. So you don't even have to go anywhere else to add music. This one here is filter. So this one here, you click on filter. So just like, this is fun doing. So here you go. And you're just flipping through to get filter. This one here is your audio levels. So this is important. And this is, you want to make sure when you're doing audio. So say you have music behind it, but you want to hear Frank talking in that bit, you just lower, you know, you'll lower the native and then increase, right? So either one, say you want more narration, you would lower the music. Mm-hmm. If you want more music, you just take out the narration. Because a lot of times I'm like, listen, you know, and I'm literally just going around going click. I'm holding it. Just like if you've used Snapchat, you can use the Spark Camera app. You're just clicking it. And for this 1 second, then you're clipping, you're getting that footage. Or if you know you're going to film for a little bit, you click and then let go. And then it keeps rolling. And then let me show you. So this is one of the biggest things everyone asks. See all the colors around it? People are like, what does all that mean? All it means is just different clips. It's just random colors. Like these are like the billion clips from the bipolar.
I also noticed that you said that you could flip the video, which means if I forget that I'm doing social video and I take a long form video, or, you know, a wide form video, I can get it flipped.
Yeah. And yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yes.
What about like zooming in or cropping areas of video? It does that too? Yeah.
So like it's a little funkier, and then it also allows you to do a double take, but you're just going in there and you're, you know, the old fashioned like zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, that's it. So you zoom out.
Intuitive interface.
Yes. It's like,
goodness.
Yeah, it is a paid app. It's $39 and it pays for it in your first video if you delegated this to somebody else, and not to mention the time. And you can produce it on yourself. So produce videos on your own. So say, for instance, it also does double take. So you know how you're like, well, what if I want to show me doing the art? It does double take. So let's just do a new Spark. So up here, this is how easy it is. So you click here. And now we're doing a new, so see that little button here?
Yep.
So, and let's make sure
that
it's
little red one.
Yeah.
Hold it down. So you're holding it down the whole time you record?
Yeah. Yes. For if you only want like, okay, I just want one. And then I say, hey, say hi, click. And then I go, hey, you say hi. Or I go, hey, I'm about to do a piece of art in the Bahamas. And then I flip this. So then it's on. So we back and forth from selfie mode to, you know, and you just go back and forth. And then you're like, then you show the piece of art, 2 seconds. And then you go to the, so now say you want to show the succession of it. You just, right. So 5 minutes in, you just go, all right, now I'm going to show some progress. Be like, okay, this was this piece I liked because I captured the sunlight here, whatever it is, right? I'm no artist. And then you just go click and then you show it. And the secret is 1.5 to 2 seconds max for a reel. That's how often you want to switch things up to constantly engage the viewer. So instead of filming a whole bunch of content and then grabbing from all of these camera rolls, that's how you used to have to do it.
Mhm.
Have literally 35 to 95 different clips. And I would send it to my editor. And then I'm like, why did you put this here? That should have been there. What? So if things get out of order or they just don't realize the order that you want it, this puts you in total control of how you want it. And then you can still send it to an editor, but you don't have to. You could literally do all of your own editing with this. I lifted off in New Jersey. I took JSX. Actually, I was filming the whole thing. It was private, to fly private. It's like semi-private. It's like you and your 30 closest friends on a private jet to Vegas. But it was like $350. It was about the same as a Southwest ticket. I'm like, shoot, this is like everyone should do this.
Worth
And
it.
because it's new. So I'm filming the whole thing. So I filmed like pulling up. Parking was super easy. There's no mayhem in it's the best ever. Now I want a private jet. No, I just want to use JCX. But I filmed it all. And the flight from San Diego to Vegas, it's not that far.
Mhm.
You're barely in the air and then they're starting the descent. And I edited the whole thing with our whole trip there. By the time I landed, I had the reel that I sent to my friend that I was traveling with. And she's like, what? And
That's
I did
amazing.
it on the flight. Yeah. So
Okay, so this
super easy.
Spark camera app, is it on Android as well as iPhone? Do you know?
I guess it's
guess.
everywhere. I'll check with my buddy Scott, who's got one, because it might be the best ever. The other thing too, to show, I don't think where's the copy of the one? Here we go, copy, because I don't want to mess with the original one. But the other great thing is, and I'll show this real quick, and I love how we're doing this in a very non-techie way,
Yeah.
right? Like it just shows you don't have to be all so techie. So cool thing here is I'm going to go into my edit, which how do we do that? We just push the little scissor button. So I'm going to push that. And then here's all your clips. But now let's say I want to get a little fancy. So I go in here and I go, I want a lit's transition, because transitions are where it's at, right? Moving. Oh, all I have to do is click this little thing on the side. And here's all my transition options.
Gosh. So I can do a dissolve, a fade in, a fade out, all those things. I can do things I don't even know the names of.
Exactly.
Nice.
Right. So pan left. And again, like this is where if you have a little editing experience, great. But if not, I'm going to give you the lowdown, down and dirty. Just stick with one. Don't go, one goes up and one goes left. Like if you're panning left and you're showing something, then in the transition, do a pan left. Because it's just think natural. The person's kind of moving with your footage. And then if you pan left, it's like the next scene, and then pan left. So where people go wrong, they're like pan left, pan right, pan up. And they're like, okay, that's a bit much, right? So professional editing, you stick with the consistent theme. And then I'll throw in a zoom in or a zoom out when I really want to focus on. So like the doctor was doing something and I like focused in on what he was doing because we really wanted to zoom that in. So you get a real quick zoom in. And again, for the eye, what I love is people are like, I wanted to see that longer. Good. That gets you to have people play it again. So that's the other secret of social video. You want to create things in there where you're showing something so short that they're like, I got to watch this again. And then all of a sudden you get 10 views from one person.
Got it. So I might want to like show my top 10 list without time to read the top 10 list so that someone has to replay it a couple times or play it and pause it or got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like this is not a teaching tutorial. Okay. So first we're going to talk about, it's tripod, lighting, iPhone, right? Spark camera app, and it's boom, 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 that quick so that they have to play back, pause, do that. And then the biggest thing, if you want to, if this is something you're doing to get business out of it, at the end, I tell people to put a CTA, call to action. So either it's follow you for more tips like this, you get more followers, or it's go to monetize, right? Whatever your URL at the end. So it either has my social icons at the end, or it says go to monetize yada yada for the full training, right?
And the Spark app allows you to do that.
So Spark, so that's where I go into another editing platform. However, you can do it in the native app. So like if I'm uploading it, because I'm looking at it right now, I don't. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. Yes, you can. So you just go here. So with anytime you get out and you want to go back to record, you just hit that little red button, record.
Mm-hmm.
And then right next to it, you see the AA. So you just click on that, and it's just like the native app where you can
Oh,
put
so I
in,
can drop a little text box somewhere and drop in my URL. Look at
yep,
that.
typed in follow me, and then right under it, you could put an icon, you could put an image. What I would suggest is have a CTA ready. So you have a clip in your phone and put it in a folder for, say it says Donna Fox, right? And it's all your either logos or character images or your CTA clips. So have a quick 1-second CTA that says follow me for more, another 1 clip or 2-second clip that says go to this YouTube channel for the full video. Because that's the other thing. So the criticism of social video is like, it's too fast. And it's like, yeah, but it's free advertising. So use it to get the free pop. And then what happens is then if they're following if they like your content, then they follow your channel and they see the longer form. And by the way, one of the best thing is get a dog or a baby in your video.
You see
And
the downward facing dog that was happening behind me? Is that
awesome.
what
He's
caused
doing
it?
his yoga.
Yeah. Oh, she's right behind me. So
Yeah.
there
Like,
she is.
and no joke, like no joke. You get your dogs, your animals, your cats, babies. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a dog and a baby. Yes, we're talking about you.
They
He
can
made a
tell.
cameo. I love it. He's like, yep, that's me. I'm dog. So, and I'm not joking. So like you might even have a random dog or maybe an elephant walks by and you show the elephant while you're doing your art. Like random things like that is what gets people to go, what was that? And then they rewatch your video. You get more views. Then again, the algorithm goes, oh, someone's like, people are watching this over and over again. That's how you go viral. And by the way, the other tip is using trending audio. So that's why I say you always want to do an audio. I don't always pick the audio from the Spark Camera app. I go and I natively upload it to TikTok and Instagram. And also they kind of almost make you, because the software that does automatic thing doesn't do automatic to Instagram. So it's kind of good because then you can match it to an audio that's trending. So what I have is a document of all the different trending audios that I've done a bunch of research. I'm like, oh, that's a good trend on, and I just copy it and I paste it into an Evernote. So have an Evernote ready with all the trending audios so that when you're ready to upload, you can you already have saved all of the trending audios.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you need to update to Notion from Evernote. We can talk about that some other time.
That's like me saying go to WhatsApp instead of Skype. Because
Yeah.
like just have it and it's everything in there. Yeah. So and even before Evernote, I just had it on my notes on my phone, and it's just like to drop it somewhere so it's easily copy pastable, right? But trending audio, match it with that. You will get like one of my social club members is like, she just is sending me screenshots. She's like, this is insane. She's like 5,000 views on something. And she's like a newbie, 12,000 on another. It's like, she's like, this is insane views when normally you're getting like 30. So this is why I say do reels, because the algorithm is focusing on it. Why? Because they saw they were losing all their viewers to TikTok. TikTok absolutely dominated. And then Instagram and YouTube are both like, oh, what do we do? And that's why my prediction is YouTube Shorts is going to be a heavy focus. For one of my clients that is in personal development, they have these long, shows like this. It's 40 minutes. There's a lot of thought put into it, a lot of teaching. They get more views on their shorts, 1 minute highlights, than they do on their long form video. So that is the emphasis of the channel, YouTube putting. So that's where my marketing ears go. All right, this is the emphasis. This is where we put our energy on.
Got it.
Yeah. And it's not that you stop doing long form. You keep doing that. That's the relationship building. That's the educational component. That's where you do sales to get people in your funnel. But the TikTok shorts and reels, and even LinkedIn is now doing the vertical video. Amazon is doing vertical video. Everyone's doing vertical video, AKA social video. So you do that for the quick teasers. Why do movies have 1 to 2 minute teasers? It's to tease you into watching the long form video, which is the movie. So think of this as your movie, and then the shorts, the social video, as your trailer. That will help people go, okay, I get it.
John asked the question I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, there
He
is
said
no
you keep a
list.
Yeah.
There is no list other than like like I have a personal list. I share it with my club members, but there's no list that you can get. It's just it's little hours of research going through it. And then the other thing, again, as an app, let me look at it. There is an app that I downloaded and I put it as a widget there's two things. There's one, which is a TikTok widget, which basically, depressingly enough, it's always like, well, it's not depressing if you're DIY, because there's a lot of DIY that trends. So if you have anything, so art could be in the DIY, right?
DIY is do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
That trends all the time, or just stupid stuff. So there is a widget for that. Let me just so here are the two apps: Real Trends and Trend Talk. They're right here.
Real Trend and Trend Talk.
Those two right there.
That's REEL, right? Not REAL. Yeah.
Nope. Like real, like create real. So Real Trends and Trend Talk. And again, I believe that is a paid app. I don't know if it's annual or one time. Again, for me, this is my business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not necessarily everyone wants to do this, but I'm teaching members on what the trends are. So every week I'm like, okay, here's the trends. So these are some of the reports that compile it for me. And it tells me what the trends are in North America, in Australia, in Asia, right? It's all over the world. Certain music will trend in one area over another. So I have students from around the world. So I'm like, okay, look at your map and then choose that one. So Real Trends and then Trend Talk. So Trend Talk is that widget that I put up here that every time I go into my social media page, basically on my phone, I see very quickly, here's what's trending. So if I'm in that industry, if I have a client that's in the industry, I'm like, hey, this one's trending, go create a reel, upload something. So that's where you kind of want to have some things in the queue. And what I do is I put it into a folder on my phone of all of my reels so I can upload them when I'm doing it manually. The other thing is when I have other people doing it, I put it into a shared folder so that they can have it on their phone and then they can upload it there. Yeah.
One more question about the Spark app before we move on. As we record the reels using the app, do they also save to your camera reel? Do they save like into your camera?
Excellent question. You have a choice. I have it to automatically save every reel. And then, but you can have it where just have it in the Spark camera app.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So it's a setting.
I like
same thing.
options.
Yes.
Both is always the best answer.
Yes. Yes. It's like you get to choose. And there have been times where I'm like, oh, I don't need this as I don't need to go in and delete all of this. Can just stay in the camera app. Otherwise, it could just get saved in my phone. So what's funny is when I looked at like one of the first ones I did, I'm like, of course, this is why this is so overwhelming. The old fashioned editing, it was like 62 clips. And meanwhile, it was a quick 1 minute reel that all I had to do is like pare down some of the beginning and end. Cause some people are like, ready? Do I go? Yes, you're recording.
Yes,
so I have to click that out. I just go, I click, I touch it and then I go like that. And then I get it at that precise moment where they just look like they're given that tip and there's no stutter. Right. And I do the same thing. Sometimes I'm like, what do I say? So I get to take that out.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. What other questions? What else you got? And by the way, it's Spark camera app, just so that we've got the name of the full app. And it's basically the picture of that thing that looks like a record button. $39 a year, completely worth it.
And we do have, I think it might be called Adobe Spark Video on Android.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So says our Android people.
So look and see if Spark camera app comes up without Adobe, and see if that comes up. Yeah.
Or if it has a similar little red dot option.
Yep. Now there's another app called SmartMike Plus. That's the one right next to it.
Just about to ask you about that. So when I asked Deb about doing all of these recordings, she said, go get this microphone. Here is the microphone. I went out, I bought it right away. I'm such a technophobe. I've never opened this box. I got it. It's been sitting here and I haven't touched it. But here's my microphone and I'm going to open it right here.
Yay. Actually, good. You could open it there while I go grab the mic and then grab water. So I don't know if you want to give yourself a solo shot. And then I'm going to do a quick wipe because I keep going back and forth and it's starting to get fuzzy. So I'm going to do
okay. You do that. I will get you off the screen and go on my own. So yeah, this is the SmartMike that she told me to get. It's the Sabinatech. There we go. SmartMike Plus. I think this was about $100. So I'm going to open it. Whoa. That is shockingly small. Wait. Let me show you what before I take it out. I will show you. This is what I saw when I opened it. I was expecting something the full size of the box, and it's this tiny little thing. So taking that out now, there's the microphone. That is amazing. There is one button on it, a little red button, and there is a jack. Oh, there's the jack. There's the little red button. That's it on this. So looks like I'll be able to clip it on pretty easily. I think even I can figure this one out, Deb. Are you ready to come back on? Give me a thumbs up.
I am. And these are the two I grabbed. I had them. I was traveling with them. So again, this is what I love. There's a white one and a black one. So if you have a client wearing, dark shirt, you go with that. But if it's a light shirt, you've got the white.
Nice.
So, or you can have two different mics where this is your host and this is your guest. So they do come in two different colors. And the nice thing about it is, again, it's Bluetooth. It connects there. So now if you're doing, again, say you're doing a podcast with 4 people, you just get 4 of these and you use them and everyone's synced up. Or if, again, typically it's an interviewer and a guest.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you're both mic'd up with crystal clear audio. And here's what I love about this the best. And I did this as an Instagram reel where I talked about not only does it make you sound better, it makes you look better. So you know how Zoom has the touch up my appearance?
Uh-huh.
Well, because you're using the mic with the SmartMike app, the app is allowing you to touch up your appearance and it gives you control. So you might want really a lot, like real soft, like soap opera look with the glow. And since I've always had acne, I've got big pores, I have a shiny face, I scale that up. For other people that are just naturally glowing, you don't have to. So it does all of the contrast and fine tuning that Zoom does to touch up your appearance. So that's what I love about it. So just like when you film with your camera, I love when people go, oh, #no filter. It's a filter if you're using your camera.
Yeah.
This has a good filter already. It makes you look better. I know because I'll look at this and I'll look in the mirror. I'm like, oh, I look better in that video. It's like, I'm not going to go in person anymore. Like I look way better on the video, especially with all the touch up your appearance.
It's funny. I think that about my artwork too. It looks better when I take a photo of it than it does in real life because of just the way that the software on the iPhone camera pumps up things like the color brilliance and stuff.
Yeah. Like vibrance, all of that. So brightness in my native camera app, I typically go into edit, I bump up brightness. And I learned this when I was travel blogging. And I was roommates with an award-winning photojournalist. And I was like, oh, like in his photos are in Nat Geo. I'm like, I'm just sitting by his side, like looking over the shoulder. And then so this is where it came from. He taught me brightness, contrast, black point. So you get like more of sharpness and then vibrance going up. And then you go all the way to the end and there's vignette. And vignette, again, it focuses on the subject. So if you notice, real
it
bright
gets softer
here.
around the edges. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you go the opposite way, what I like about that is for like ads or things that I don't want to zero in it. I want it to really be vibrant. It almost puts like a light on the corners. So it's almost like it just becomes, the whole thing becomes more vibrant.
And
so
that's all for this app.
So that's in the normal like camera app, but in this is the toucher up your appearance. So it does all of that. Everything I do in my native camera app on my iPhone, it does automatically and better. So it's like I did all of the touch-ups, but I don't have to because it's done. Even my male clients that I film, he's like, oh, they love it. They look better because we don't realize we're all self-conscious. Oh, he's like, oh, my mole is hidden. This is hidden. Like all of the things that we don't like about ourselves get hidden in those types of apps. So that's why I like Smart Camera app because it does both. And then, look and look and sound better. And then you just charge it real quick with that. And then you were pointing out the jack where if you want to listen while you're filming to make sure. Otherwise, if you're producing for someone, always just look and make sure the sound bars are going. The second you don't see a sound bar, it means it lost connection. The other beautiful thing, Donna, is you get a better perspective because you can be all the way over there and your iPhone, tripod could be here. Again, there is a range. So test the range to make sure, but you could, so when social distancing came out, right, the realtor would buy his own mic. He would mic himself up and super easy. It's no longer that lapel weird thing. It's this little clip like you saw. He just clips it on. He does it himself. I don't have to wire him up or anything. There's no sexual harassment form that they have to fill out, right? Because like in production, we all know like you're wiring people up. This just wireless. They clip, and then I would be 10 feet away filming. And he's like, "Don't worry."
As a woman, to not wear dresses.
Yeah.
To
be wired up. Oh, I've had
getting wired up in a dress is
stories. Yeah.
Most people have to buy me dinner before they can do that.
I should have used that. Yeah. So it's wireless. So that's an awesome feature.
That is awesome.
Look and sound better. Yep.
Okay. So then this comes with an app. I assume that the
Yes.
link or a QR code is in this box.
Yes.
You mentioned a phone jack, so that's here. It also comes with a little pop filter.
Yes.
A little pop filter for wind, which
Bring that.
you just stick it over the top here?
Yeah. So bring that. And by the way, I would recommend buy like a bag of them that's like $5-10 and they'll get 10 because you'll lose them. Yeah.
When you need them is the time that they're going to blow away, right?
Yeah. And if you're on that cruise, like you're in these tropical islands. So again, my buddy Scott that I film with, he's the Android, I'm the iPhone. He has an app. I'll have to get it from him. It like monitors wind intensity.
Amazing. There's also a fuzzy one in here. In addition to the normal foam one, there's a little fuzzy head as well.
And here's the cool thing too, with what you're doing, Donna, with the art is like, even if it is windy, what's neat is you film it all, you do Spark camera, you do your time lapse, whatever it is. And then once you've got it in the editing bay or on your phone now is your editing bay, the neat thing is you're typically adding music to it. So say there was a lot of wind noise, whatever, in these apps as well, there's a voiceover. So Spark camera app, what we were talking about, there's another one that you could have the video and like, I didn't like what I said there. You can just click that and do a voiceover. So you can voice over and then just show your art. So there's no like mismatch of your face, right? With your lips. So you don't have Japanese subtitles. You just show a piece of art and then do a voiceover, whatever you wanted to share at that point. Or the whole thing can be a voiceover, right? Like everything of yours is clip, 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 clip. And then you can just describe what happened in each one, each scene using the voiceover with Spark camera app.
Makes sense. All right. So everybody, that's the SmartMike Plus. You can see it right there. And the company name is in silver, but it's Sabin Tech, SABINETEK.
Yeah. And then Sansi just dropped the link for the mic as well.
Oh, good.
So I think she put it here in StreamYard, so that should go to all the channels. If not, let me pull up.
It goes everywhere but to the Facebook group. The Facebook group has to be, I believe, get it posted separately.
And then what I can do, let me share my screen if you want to share that other document. And then maybe what we'll do is for your members in Facebook, I'll drop a link to this GDoc. It's basically my workflow. And then it has all of these links. It also has a link to this here. I'll show this real quick. This is the playbook that I shared with my club members and students that took the boot camp. And everyone can have this as a completely free download. And then let's get, this is the link right here. So again, the HTTPS obviously this is the long one, but it's just basically GrooveOver.2/reels. And I assume the reels can't be capitalized, right?
That is correct. The reels can't be capitalized.
Okay. So I think you taught me that a long time ago. You're like, here's a quick tip.
Yep. So anything before the dot can be capitalized. Anything after is case sensitive.
Yeah. So good tip for everyone to know. So again, that's what I'm showing right there. GrooveOver.2.reels. That is this monetized reel. Oh, here we go. I think it is.
Yeah, I just dropped that into the chats.
Yeah. So this will give you, and it is top secret. So please just keep this to yourself. Don't share it all over. This is stuff that our clients pay for a lot of money. So we're sharing it for Groove Stars. But this is giving you, kind of like I was showing you the phone, this is giving you the step-by-step when you want to upload it in Instagram, and say you just want to do a video and a reel just by using the Instagram app. This gives you the step-by-step. It shows you each screenshot. Here's what you do. You open the Instagram up, you click the plus sign, then here's the other alternative way. Then there's the audio button for, remember you were asking about trending audios, that you're going to see this all here. So you just kind of go through, see what you like the best. And then yes, my students get all mine. Yeah. Yeah. So this way, it just kind of walks you through very step by step, especially if you're doing it for the first time. Here, even if you want to edit in the Instagram app, just like we were showing, you could do it in Spark. You could actually edit the videos in Instagram app. So even if you upload something and you go, oh, wait, there's a clip here that I want to change, you can do that here. And then there's effects. So let's talk a little bit about effects from an SEO monetizing reel perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When you use effects or stickers, you know how people like put these stickers, those are trends. And I love that you're smiling, because this is how all my, so you're you're a trained attorney, and I have a lot of Wall Street executives, attorneys, and doctors that just giggle when I tell them these things, and we'll do them, but it gets more views when we use these stickers and trends. Like, and I think we're all in that age group where I'm like, what is a sticker? What do I have
Oh
to
my
do
gosh,
for?
you have no idea who you're talking to. I love stickers.
Oh, so you like them.
I have stickers by my desk. I have stickers every day. I pick a sticker of the day. I have all these Wonder Woman stickers, bunch of Fox stickers. Yeah,
I used to have a sticker book.
That's
back
why
in the
I'm
day.
smiling.
Oh, so stickers for Instagram is great for you, because it's the same thing. It's just virtual stickers.
Yeah,
There you
love
go.
it.
Yeah, I used to have a sticker, but do you remember Scratch and Sniff?
I do
Scratch
remember.
and Sniff. I had
Yes, and the puffy
Smurf.
ones. Remember the puffy
Yes,
ones?
you touch them. Yep, all of
Yeah.
the tactile thing with stickers.
You
So
may have grown up. I have not yet grown up. I still like stickers.
that's true. There's Wonder Woman in the background. What am I talking about? Yeah. So I thought you were grinning because you're like, oh, I got to use stickers. Like, that's the reaction of most of my clients. They're like, oh, Deb, right? And I'm like, I know it sounds weird and I know it sounds silly, but you get found in the search because you use the sticker, because you use a trending audio, because you use the trending filter. So use these little things that Instagram has when you upload the reel. That's how you get found in the search of way more people. And by the way, the analytics will show you, you don't just get your followers seeing it when you're using these things. That's how you get broader reach all over. And that's what you want. You want free advertising. So yeah, this is the book that you'll get when you go to the GrooveOver link that Sansia will put in there. So it's all of these. And then this is giving you some screenshots of, like, again, this was a very new this one was a very neglected Instagram. And this was where I was showing myself from, like, look at this. This is underneath the blow dryer. People love this stuff, right? I was like, I had to shower real quick and wash my hair. I'm like, I didn't finish it. I'm like, you know what? People like when the half done, I'm not so polished look. This was all within like an hour. It went from 10,000 views to 22,000 views. I think this should have been over here. It should have went from 9,000 to 10 to 22. So this is just showing you they really work. And I was getting like 30 views, and it was a neglected account. It was created a long time ago. I started hating Instagram. I love it now because of Reels, and we're getting the best results from using Reels. So, and then there's the next section is how to use a template. So the fastest way for you to just drop in clips that you say you already have a bunch of clips on your phone. So say, Donna, you're just taking some videos on the cruise all around, and then you're like, okay, I have all this footage. What do I do? Okay, you could either use the Spark Camera app to do that, or go in here to Instagram, find a template, and I'll get you one to start off with. So I'll drop it in here so that you guys can start. It's a template that's in there, and people are like, oh, where do you find them? Again, it's hours of research in the morning. So I wake up at 4:20 almost every morning. I'm in bed for like 2 hours just scrolling through this stuff, doing research. So that's where I drop the stuff in Evernote. I have like all these templates for my students to be able to pull from. So it's just a little bit of research. But when you find something that says use as template, oh, the angels start singing. They've done all the work for you. Use that, because then all you need to do is go to your media in step 2, click the ones that you want, and then you're kind of following the prompts. So just follow these steps here. You just click them. As you see, I've just literally like, okay, I wanted these 4. Okay, I've got 4 that I've got to upload. And then again, these are all the steps here. Here's where you could put the text. Remember, we talked about the text. You put that there. This was a plank now, wine later. This was a walk with my gym, and it was a lot more walk and talk than walk.
Yeah.
We saw this big dog, and we saw this little old man, and we would chat. I was like, well, where's the walking portion of this? And so this was the whole group. So that's kind of what we put. And again, I got killer views from this, and it was just this little gym walk around La Jolla. So this is giving you the step-by-step of what you need to do. And then again, the captions are in here, all of that good stuff. And then audio. That's one of the biggest thing. Oh, by the way, you can now edit your cover. So you make sure either A, you have your graphic artist put a cover somewhere in the beginning scene, and then you just click and drag it so that you can get the proper spot where you don't look like, right? It's like the cover and you look good. So that's hard to do. So I'm actually practicing the beginning of my reels to stay smiling and talk almost with not animated, just my mouth. So, because normally you're like, right? And you'll get like a side angle and it's just awkward. So
I have the weirdest faces when I talk.
Yeah.
I have hated every single picture ever taken of me on stage, unless I stopped and smiled and had that photo taken. But everything that's happening while my mouth is moving is not pleasant. So I get it.
have the exact problem. This was me on stage in LA at Stevenson's event, and the photographer I was like, all right, if you all don't mind, because this is going to go on social, I just have to pause, smile at the camera, point. I was like,
You gotta get at least one good photo.
Yeah. I'm like, did you get the shot? Because then I'm going to keep going. But I am horrible at candids. This was literally like, okay, I'm going to pause and make sure I get the shot. Because like I'll have 30 of them that are just horrible.
I love that.
So yeah,
I
so
also love, similar to that, how easy it is to edit the transitions that you showed us. So we don't have to do those cheesy YouTuber like transitions like that, which, from time to time it's okay, but having the power to be able to easily make those transitions they're awesome.
Yeah, the power is in your hands. And then I'm just scrolling through. This is, again, a playbook so that you can write down your plan of action here. And then the last part of this is 24 laws of social video marketing. So it's going to give you all of those tips, right? Quantity over quality, know your target audience. So as you're producing your reel, keep these in mind. Tell a story. This is one of the biggest things. So with your art, you're telling a story. When I was at the med spa, one of my clients who has a whole med spa, so I get to go to Maryland and look pretty. And we were telling a story of the process from beginning to end. So you show the doctor, you show the rooms, the office. Like it's basically like walking in and showing a client what they're going to go through. And then I literally was the subject, no makeup, just had a treatment done to show, okay, this is after a peel. My face isn't like red and blotchy. Like I just throw makeup on and I'm red carpet ready. So we were telling the story of here it is. And then, oh, look, no pain. Like here's the doctor doing the treatment and no pain and no Novocaine injections. Like this is how easy this procedure is. So we had a little clip where we put the music down and we had the doctor saying like, you're not going to believe this, but you're not going to feel a thing. And then you'll appreciate this, Donna. One of the times when he's like touching my face and he's doing stuff, and I'll share the video. That's going to be an interesting, very raw moment, but he's putting the needle in. So I don't know if you know, I fell flat on my face, literally flew off a scooter 4 years ago, fell on my face, got 16 stitches. Oh, great. Thanks. She's like,
I didn't know that. I want to see them. Show me.
Yeah. So I got 16 stitches. And then my whole lips were just smashed apart. So there's scarring and there's this, 16 stitches scarred. So again, the micro needling and the injections to just start helping that. So you see the doctor.
No idea, Deb, and I've seen you since then. So no idea.
Yeah. So again, that would be a reel. Like I should do a reel about that. Right. So that'll be the next time I go there. I'm going to share that story of like, here's why I'm here. Here's what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. This was just like a quick, hey, it was really to teach the staff how to do the video. But you'll appreciate this where he's now tapping my face and then about to put the needle in, and he goes like this, and you hear me giggle in the video. So that's where I turn the video or the music down so you could hear me laughing, because who's laughing while a doctor's putting a
Dentist, yeah.
needle in your face,
Yeah.
right? And so he goes, he does this tap, 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 and the needle. And as he does this, he's like, Marshall Silver's got nothing on me. He's like, you're not going to feel a thing. And I'm like, I don't know if this is some weird tapping hypnosis thing, but it worked. So the next video I do, it'll be more storytelling, entertainment, and I'll have him say that, and it to be charming and an endearing doctor, that's who you want to go to, because if you have all this fear, right? I remember when I got the stitches and I go in and it's a surgical room. This is surgery. It's minor. But you're going in and it's a sterile room. And I started getting nerve. I'm like, oh my gosh. And to have a doctor talk you through it and just talk to you, it's like, okay. So again, if he's doing things and he's doing treatment, you want to get that across. So if whether you're a doctor, attorney, professional, entrepreneur, business owner, author, and you're a serious entrepreneur, you don't want to do a dancing TikTok, cool. You don't have to, but you still let your personality come across, because that's the know, like, and trust factor. That's the stuff. So this whole tell a story, that component of your reels is more important than any tech and any tool, because it's the storytelling. And what did we just do now? We just told a story without even realizing it, right?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden people are spellbound because they're feeling that. They're getting that. Maybe they've had surgery before and they're like, I remember that. It's scary. Yeah, you do want a doctor that is going to be charming and have a good, what they call bedside manner, right? Because otherwise, if it's stiff, you're like, I don't know. That's scary. But if you have someone that's approachable, so that's what you want to get across in these reels. So I think the doctor may have his team here. So if you're listening, this is the most important for you, is really capture Dr. Summers when he's being charming with his clients that are coming in. Capture those fun moments, right? Where it doesn't look like he's not a serious doctor, right? And hey, you get the lab coat or the suit, right, to portray that. But yeah, have that charm. And I love, I see Tyra. I love seeing you here. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Hello, Lynn.
There've been some very, very good comments. I'm not going to scroll up and get lost in the weeds of them, but people are absolutely loving this. You're doing an amazing job. We want to go back to the playbook.
Yes.
But before we do, I want to ask, tell you what I'm thinking about in terms of video, and ask, and that way you can have that in mind for the rest of this discussion. I want to film my art, obviously, which means sometimes it's down on a desk, sometimes it's up on an easel. All of this became very urgent for me since I, at the last minute, decided to go on the marketer's cruise. And when I decided to do that at the very last minute, I said, well, I'm only going to do it if I sketch the whole process. Big stepping outside, pushing my comfort zone for me, because I've never sketched in public or in that area. So I'm feeling very self-conscious about being somewhere and setting up a camera and doing something. There are times when I might want to talk to the screen, times not. I love the idea of a time lapse so I can crunch some of the process into a small bit. Can I do all of these things with just these tools that we've talked about so far?
Absolutely. And the only thing that when you were saying to look down, I would say if you have this one is a GoPro one, but you can,
I did buy one here early on. It's got a big heavy base. Pull it over here. I bought this when I started thinking about this. Those are advertised to artists. It's called a canvas.
Yes, I get that in my Facebook.
My camera here, and it has a ring light, so it lights. So I think this, which I just took apart. I think this is going to cover the downward stuff. Maybe not while I'm on the road, but when I'm at home, working, I can get this.
Yes, that is.
This was about $200.
Yes,
that base is incredibly heavy.
Yeah. That's why you don't want to take that probably with you. Yeah. So on the road, this one is a GoPro one, and it's again tripod where it could just stand up straight and film you, or you can do the overhead shots, right? So if you get a selfie stick like that, that will cover it on the road. Otherwise, even your Gorilla Grip right? Like, so say this is your Gorilla Grip one. All you do is you turn the head up here and just have it face down, right? So
Yeah,
you're
as long as I
doing your,
have something to like
yeah,
grab it on would be, I
yeah,
guess, like that.
yep. And here's the other thing too, Donna, is, and you can even do that with a tripod where you're just facing it down. But even if you get the handheld and you just get it for a moment and you just, okay, here you go, and I'm sketching, or just
That's the
have a
thing.
friend do
Yeah.
it, you know. That's the advantage of having a, what I call a virtual producer, where they're either doing it from a Zoom and producing for you, right? So like Sancia, she's putting the text in here, she's producing and handling chat, so you can actually perform and you can speak to your audience. So as you're doing your art, if you've got that producer, making sure they've got good angles. And again, the
Yeah.
biggest thing too, when you're filming, and I have a buddy who's, I'm like, okay, this reel is for you. And I said it to him. I'm like, go slower than you naturally think you would. And
Ooh.
that's in the reel on Instagram. And if you're not following me, Coach Deb, all of these tips I'm sharing and I'm expanding upon, and I'm doing another 30 days of these. So I'm going to go into depth in some of the things we've been talking about, but like, you're filming it, and this is how most people go, okay, here's the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Here's the, oh my gosh, like, you have to think about the natural eye is taking it all in. Just go way slower than feels natural. And then you start getting in the scene. So as she's doing it, um, and this was one when we did in the doctor's office, we taught her to come in and like, come in just like you're naturally walking down the hallway. And then it's like, oh, there's the patient, there's the doctor. And you're just walking in and you're holding it and you're doing a pan. Same thing when I was in the seat. I'm like, okay, we're going to pan. So you're seeing the room. And then all of a sudden the patient's revealed. Right. So that's going to be a big thing. So Sean, you're listening. The big thing when you're filming the doctor, and it's like the pan, come in and go slow. Even though we want like just 3 seconds, you can still do a pan, and maybe that's 5 seconds because it's a little bit longer of a shot. And then again, in the beginning, like that video you saw, it's like quick, quick, friendly doctor. You're in the video, I'm in the video. It's like quick, 1 second, 2 seconds max, and then transition. And then use Spark Camera app to transition. So yeah, so that for that tool for you, Donna, have either someone just do, and here's the beautiful thing, you can do your whole sketch, you can do things, and then we call these like stage shots, right?
Yeah.
So with the doctor, we had to go, oh, we didn't have the story of what you're doing here. We're just going to have you say that now. So he filmed it, and then I just went in Spark Camera, I touched it and dragged it over. And then my clip, so you can organize your clips by just touching, dragging, and putting it wherever you want. The worst is sometimes you let go and it goes right back to where it was. You just touch, drag, and then put it in wherever you want and just rearrange the clips. But if you know ahead of time your story and your show flow and the storyboard, like even if it's in your mind or sketch it out, you go, all right, here I'm going to show this scene, this scene, this scene. Now I'm going to say what I'm doing a little bit. Now I'm going to do a quick overview shot. And with the Spark Camera app, you're just able to get these in order and then fill in the blanks after, right? So a stage shot might be you sketching from behind the scenes and someone just films it and then you drop it in anywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I can see I'm going to make my my husband a videographer soon.
Oh yeah. So there's an ad for like doing videos, and I loved in the by the way, I read more comments than watch videos because that's where I see what people are talking about. And one of the comments was great because the whole video ad is like the person showing how to take this shot, and like here's the girl in the hammock, and then over here having her coffee. It's like, oh, so this is a course I need to buy my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have a partner that you can just teach these little tips to, it'll be helpful. Yeah.
By the way, if you didn't see yesterday's live training where Mike went over Chat GPT,
Yes.
he asked for, there was one of them where we asked for a YouTube video script with B-roll.
Yes.
And it gave ideas for all the B-roll shots. So if you
Yes.
have this rough idea of what you want, you can drop it in a Chat GPT who will make that B-roll script for you and give you, your story. So I'm so excited about using some of these things in conjunction.
Yes.
This is amazing. Let me put the link for that in here again. I can't wait to get into this document. So it was GrooveOver 2/reels.
And I'll show that up here. It's here in the highlighted yellow. Yep. GrooveOver 2/reels. And that'll give you this playbook with the step-by-steps. And then this is like the extra thing. And by the way, I love that you use ChatGPT, because if you've noticed, and my 5th grade teacher told me I was a great student, but very loquacious. Thanks, Mr. Ibelbis. She didn't know that was going to be how I'd make a living when I got older. So I had all of these tips, right? So this book here, we put it on an added bonus of the Reels book, the 25 Laws. Guess who helped me be concise with all of my tips?
ChatGPT?
100%. This
Nice.
right here was created with the help of ChatGPT. Now, obviously, we had the graphic artist throw in graphics next to it. We revised some of it, but it helped me be concise with all of my tips. So that's the next step in this masterclass here, where we talk about, here are all the steps that you do. Here's my workflow. And I'll share that as like the final thing here. But the final part of it, which you could do in the beginning too, to create your storyboard, is using ChatGPT or Jasper to create a better blog post from your reel. So now you've got this video, but you should also be blogging. Blogging, by the way, is not dead. Neither is podcasting. I went to a podcasting event a couple years ago, Donna, and I mean, if steam could have come out my ears, you better believe I got to Twitter. I'm like, podcasting is not dead. Someone from stage who was a big podcaster was like, oh, well, podcasting is dead. No, it's just different from when it first started. It was so easy when it first started, right? You could be number one because the big media hadn't come in. Joe Rogan hadn't come in. But now that Joe Rogan is here, everyone understands that podcasting is just another medium. It's like radio now. It's normalized. So podcasting is not dead, nor is blogging. So when you get your reel, part of the workflow is to upload it and blast it to all the social channels. And the two ones that we play around with and use for clients based on what they like better is Metricool and repurpose.io. Metricool and repurpose.io, you can upload it. And just like right here, you're using StreamYard to stream this live video to 8 different platforms. And we're seeing all over. It's like broadcasting, right? Just like when Oprah would film in Chicago studio, but she was seen all around the world, that was broadcasting. This is streamcasting. So it's the same thing. Metricool is doing that for your reels. So is Repurpose. And what I like about Repurpose is you can program it to pull all of your TikToks, because you might create a reel in TikTok or in Instagram. It will pull it from TikTok, strip out the TikTok logo that it puts on it, and then save it to your G Drive. So now you have a record of every video. I should have allowed for the audience to go, what?
Yeah, I did. I think I've spent more time with my mouth open during this presentation than anything else. I've been in awe. I had no idea that it had gotten this easy to do, and it makes sense. But I've just been completely unaware.
Yes. Yeah. So this is my workflow, and maybe what I'll do for the Groovesters is I'll share the workflow.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So it just kind
Thank you.
And then I can't finish without this real quick 7 tips here, again, because I know some clients are on, my VA is on, the person that I'm going to have do this for me, because I finally have run out of time. Because by the way, Donna, I used to do all my tweets, all my social media, it was everything. I did it. Because again, like, it's my business. I've got to do it. But
you are the only guest that we have ever had on a Groove presentation of any kind that found the upcoming presentation on YouTube and commented on it before the presentation started. You're the only one that has ever done that. And I saw that this morning when I popped in, and then I noticed that there was already a comment, and then it was you, and that you had done it previously after the upcoming was scheduled. And I knew that I was in the right place talking to the right person from that single action, because you, Deb, more than anyone I know, I think, really walk your walk and talk your talk. You get done exactly what you share with people. And I'm so impressed by that. I'm always impressed by people who do what they say they're going to do, and practice what they teach. So thank you.
Thank you. That's better than me feeling like I have control issues that I'm doing it all myself.
Yeah. Well,
It's a way better positioning of it. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because I went to an event this weekend in Maryland, and there was this young TikToker, and he was like killing it, just awesome. And he gave me some ideas, and I'm like, oh my God, this is great. Like such energy. And when I described how long I've been doing social media, I'm like, since the days of MySpace, his eye, like your jaw dropped. He was like, oh, like somebody punched him in the gut, like MySpace. That was like when I was 2, right? I mean, it was hilarious. Yeah, 22 years I've been doing this, and again, getting clients from it, and again, all organic. Everything I've ever done is all organic. So that's why I love Reels so much, because there's never been a platform. Even when YouTube first started, and I was super excited about it, and I predicted that was going to go gangbusters. We never got the views like we're doing now with Instagram Reels, like to get 20,000 very quickly with zero advertising, with zero promotion, and being shown in front of other people that then subscribe to your channel. And it just keeps growing and growing all organically. Now, could we get bigger numbers faster if we advertise? Absolutely. But for me, I'm the organic girl. So it's always been like, let's test this organically and let's see what we can do, and like really test the engine. And this here, right here, the SEO hacks, these 7 tips here, do these and you get more views. So this is how we're hacking the algorithm and SEO. So first thing, and actually I'll make this bigger so that it can be seen much bigger. There we go. So if my VA is watching, definitely take notes and do these things. Sean, you're watching, right? Everyone here that is either doing it for someone else or you're going to do it for yourself. Do these 7 things and miss them at your peril. Do them and you'll get more views. I promise. So the first thing is the title and the cover image. YouTube is the only thing that you can't select the cover image yet. It's funny because they have the whole thumbnail image for their long form content. They have yet to do that for their short form, the social videos. I believe it will come. But for now, be very conscious of the first 1 to 3 seconds, because that becomes your cover image and almost your GIF, where it's like, it shows a very quick like motion. So that's why a lot of times you'll see me coming in with jazz hands. It's not just because I'm a jazzy kind of girl. It's because it stops the scroll, because the amygdala in our brain says, oh, movement, survival. Oh, I've got to pay attention to that. That's why Vegas lights. That's why it's to get the reptilian brain of yours to pay attention. So that stops the scroll. So the first 3 seconds, get some type of movement. Or in your video, one of them I did it with an Alice in Wonderland. Actually, my editor did it, and he like did this whole kind of mesmerizing. Did you see that one? Where it almost like, turned it, and it's like, whoa, you're like, so anything that has movement, it could be a zoom in, right? Do a transition to zoom in right away, because the motion is going to be seen as people are scrolling, and you've got to stop them and get their attention. So that's
even a simple wave. Like even a hello wave. Think about how naturally we wave at people that aren't waving at us, because we think that a wave is to us. There's something kind of baked into that with us. If you see someone wave, you do a double take, knowing fully well that they probably aren't you. I do this all the time when I'm traveling. I'm halfway across the world and I think I see someone that knows me because I see someone wave at me.
Yeah.
I think that's a powerful gesture. And to someone who feels awkward or uncomfortable, doesn't want to do something very gimmicky, saying hello is a very natural thing. And it's just a little bit of movement. It's not quite like jazz hands is not me. I don't do jazz, you'll never see me do jazz hands out in public, but I wave all the time.
Yeah. So that's a good tip too for people like, or I'm a professional, I'm not going to do. So again, know what your personality is, right? When we do the social boot camp, we dive into what's your personality, what's the archetype, what's the character. So for me, jazz hands works. For other people, it won't. So the wave, again, a doctor, I'm going to pull this up here. It's funny that you said wave. That's exactly what we did. So it's a friendly, that's how we started.
So we see you. There we go.
Okay. So that's, quick wave. There's Sean. There's me. There's his office, right? There's the doctor. Okay. We've got a sterile environment, right? And then we're walking in, and now I'm talking to the doctor. It's very natural. It's like, oh, she just comes upon me in the doctor's office, right? Then he shares. So that wave. And then again, he's like showing, this is where he tells me how he's better than Marshall. He tells me it's not going to hurt, right? So it's these quick snapshots. And then I won't go all the way to the end, but here he is again, this hypnotic, okay, it's not going to hurt. And then the injection. So again, I don't know if I'll put that on my that's for his, I don't know if I'll put it online, but maybe I will, maybe I'll start telling the story and we'll do that. But if you notice, it was for a doctor, he's not going to do jazz hands, but a nice wave. It's friendly, right? Like when you met him there with that reel, you're like, oh yeah, I'd go to him. He seems friendly, seems nice. He also seems very professional. He's in a suit. So think of your uniform. If it's a uniform like Wonder Woman, because you're a presenter and you want to, you're a motivational, right? Or are you in a suit and tie? Or does the watch matter? All of that, your costume, all of that will matter in drawing people in. You're an artist, so you should bring in the artist flair, right? The purple hair, the flair. Like I think artists, and I think very flowy kind of attire, right? I don't think stiff. I don't think suit. Right. But doctor, attorney, Wall Street executive, suit. Absolutely. Right. Grant Cardone is like, I never regret wearing a suit. Every once in a while, he realizes he's in our industry and he goes with like the sweatshirt and he says he never likes it, but he tries to be relatable. Right. So the title cover image, the first 3 seconds of movement to stop it. And you can do it as simply as a, friendly hi, right? Like you saw with the doctor. But get their attention, do some type of movement. Do not just sit here like this. You will get passed by. You'll be like, why aren't I getting views? Because it looks boring. It didn't capture my attention somehow, or a friendly hi, right? So it's as simple as that. What's up?
Simone wants to see me painting dressed up as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So yes. She's probably fully aware that I have several Wonder Woman costumes, all sorts of different versions of the Wonder Woman costume. So absolutely, I would put it on and struggle into those knee-high red boots and paint something. How fun.
Like be different, be bold. Remember, this is entertainment. This is edutainment, right? When you think of that component. So in that, in the playbook over here, we talked about emotion and storytelling, right? What you're wearing, and again, the personal touch, that goes a long way. Where's the emotion one? Right here, number 5. Use emotion.
We're not sharing anymore. Let's do that. There we go. Number 5.
There we go. Yeah. So use emotion. Do the storytelling. Focus on the visuals, and the visuals could be you. You could be the costume, right? So that's super important. And then here, the 7. So this is the 7 tips here. Get these down. Again, miss them at your peril.
What's the location mean? Flag the location. So not just post a video when it says, do you want to add a location? You should do that.
So 100%. So let me finish the cover image and then grab to that.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped ahead.
But I'm glad you did, because it's one of the most important things that people fail to do. And it gets you way more views if you do it correctly. So with the title image, again, YouTube is the only thing that you need the motion. But if it's a reel and TikTok, you can slide the cursor over until you get the exact image that you want. This is where your video editor will come in to have a title and put that there. So just drag it so the title is there to show. Otherwise, if you're showing like right now, a couple got uploaded and it's like, that looks bad. Like but at least you can edit it and change it. And the views reflect it. They're just like, it said something about like network or something. It's like, what about network? It's got to pull them in. So have a captivating title and use that cover image. The next part is the description. So you've got the title and the cover image. This description's got to capture them as well. And what I tell people to do is think about the first 3 words of your description. If you can bring in your keywords in there. So it could be facelift without surgery. What? And then that could be literally the description there. And then Dr. Summers shows how you can get a youthful look with just a facial, essentially, right? Like whatever that is, that's your description. It's a little bit.
Summers.
Yeah. Oh, he's fantastic. Literally, I fly from California to Maryland, Donna. So we'll have to go and take a trip to Maryland. And fortunately, Anik has an event there. He has a center, the Learn Center. So we'll visit Anik, we'll get some education, and then we'll go see Dr. Summers and get younger.
Put crab cakes on that list and I'm in.
Oh, 100% crab cakes are going in there. Well, actually, there's a place that you can go where you smash the crabs. You've done this in Jersey, right? There's a place there. They've got you got the bib, and so any type of like issues that you have, right? You just smash those crabs, and it's a stress-free outing. So we have a date. We'll do that. June, I think, is Onyx's next event. So then just the keywords. just like your description has keywords, then your keyword tags are at the bottom. Now, I have someone that I'm talking with that's playing around with not doing keywords. And the theory is that if you put keywords, it only shows in front of women over 40 who are da 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 da, right? And then it almost by elimination doesn't show it in front of other people. So he's playing around, but he's also doing reels for Grant Cardone, Jordan Peterson, Alex Hormozy. These are big names that people are doing a search for. I'm doing it for people that want to be found, right? Like when I did it for Tony Robbins, easy because everyone's searching for Tony Robbins. Not everyone necessarily knows that they need to search for Dr. Summers, right? So you want to put keywords in there of who you're targeting, right? So again, it could be non-surgical facelift, microdermabrasion, whatever it is that people are searching for, you put that in the keywords. And the tip here is make sure there's enough space in between your description. What I do is I put a space and then I put a period, another space, a period, another space. So it almost looks like the post is done. So for the layperson's eyes, they don't have to read your keywords. But for the spiders who are crawling and reading it, it's at the bottom. And then location. So this is Donna's like, finally, what's this location?
That also reminds me of the tip that we used to do in email marketing when you'd send an email and then you'd hit space a bunch of times to push the unsubscribe down so people wouldn't scroll down and see it.
Yes. That's exactly that. And you should still do that. Like, it's great. It's like, don't unsubscribe. I have to put this legally, but I don't want you to. Yeah. So location, I love that you asked that. And you immediately were like, ooh, what's this? So best thing to do. And here's what's great about this. If you have someone else doing it for you. So when I do it, it kind of knows I'm uploading it from La Jolla. But if I'm traveling and if I'm in Maryland, I've got to go in there and say, nope, this is still in La Jolla or San Diego or the wherever, the Grove in LA, wherever I am, tag the location. Now, here's the beauty of it. There's also metadata that knows where your video is coming from. So if you are in Bahamas or the Keys, or I think you guys are going to Puerto Rico, right? It actually has some of that metadata baked in. The other thing is titling your video when you are doing like native so this is some advanced SEO, but if you've got videos you're editing in Final Cut Pro, title your video with your keywords, and that gives you a boost for the search engine because it's like match. This is absolutely correct. It's the same thing with location. So if you have someone uploading it for you, make sure they're using location, right? So I have someone now in Canada uploading it. I mean, we could do that because then I would target everyone in Canada in that surrounding area. But if I want to keep it with San Diego, Austin, New York City, and Miami, those are the ones that I love, and Atlanta. Those are the ones that I do often, and I'll change them up. But my standard is San Diego because that's
and you don't have to be there. You just tag it because you want to tag it.
Exactly. And if you're
don't get caught up in the truth on that one, is what you're trying to say. Yeah,
that's 100%. So when I want to target an Austin group, I tag the location Austin.
Nice.
So when I want to go, say you're doing an event in Miami, or you're lifting off for the cruise, then tag Miami. So yeah, this is not about where you actually are. It's where you want to target it. Now, if you're doing like when I do videos of the seals in La Jolla, like that's when you want the accurate location, right? Because it's a location. If you're a blogger, you want the actual location. But if you're like, for you, if you're an educator, if you're an info marketer, you just choose the location that you want to target and choose the place that's going to have the most views. So personal development. I had someone that we were uploading their videos and they were in Texas, but anytime we tagged the location San Diego or LA, we got way more views because more people that are interested in personal development are in California. They're not in Texas, right? So think about where you want to go after your target market and choose that location. You'll get more views.
So trending I have a very small Instagram account that I've just started posting to. I mean, I opened it 10 years ago and I just started posting to it this year. It's one of my, building this business is my goal. Building a following is my goal. And to do that, you post on Instagram. So I have been doing that every single day of this year. And I'm also learning something called urban sketching, which is where you go out in the world and you sketch. So I took a photo because I'm still too afraid to go out in the world to sketch. But I took a photo while I was walking my dogs one day, came home and sketched it. and posted on an Instagram the next day. This is the process that I've been doing all year. I'm 19 days in. I haven't done my post yet today, but I'm 19 days in. And that one, I put the location as Las Vegas on it because it was a picture, it was a drawing of Las Vegas. So I put the location on it. I got subscribers to my Instagram. I got followers to my Instagram that I don't even know how I reached. And it probably was the Las Vegas tag. People are probably following the Las Vegas tag. I didn't even think about that until we started talking about this.
Yeah.
That it was probably that, because no one is following my Instagram because
Right.
I haven't put it out anywhere yet.
Yes.
So I'm really just trying to get in the practice. But I noticed all of a sudden I had likes and followers I didn't know or plan on, or it wasn't even really my intention at the time was to go get it. Right now, my intention is to develop the habits. That's my goal.
That's excellent.
My goal every day is just to develop a habit of creating art every day and posting. So
I love
which
that.
leads me to my next question. How often should we be posting these reels?
As often as you can.
Okay.
So if you can do a daily reel, great. If you can do one every other day, great. Some people go, 3 times a day. That's just too much in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not Gary V. I don't think you should.
My life is not that interesting.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. It's like, anytime anyone asks me like, well, how long and yada, yada, it's like, as long as it should be, right? For like a long form content. If people are still tuning in and they're liking it, it's like, that's why I like live, because I can see, more people are joining. I'll keep going. If I see less people, I'm like, okay, I'm going to wrap up. So that's when they share the link and, you've got to get on here. Well, guess what? You're going to get more info, right? Because you've shared it and you got more people on. Once there's less people, once people are starting to leave, doing their own thing, I wrap it up. So same thing with reels. As long as you keep getting the views, what we found is we saw someone do 3 times a day and all of a sudden they got way less views. And it was almost like Instagram was like, okay, it's too much. We're going to throttle you. So I think once a day is great. And what's neat about Metricool, I'll scroll up here. Metricool gives you best times to post. So I love this as a planning tool that also you can auto post for the static things, and other than Instagram that you have to do it manually. So what it does is it sends you an email, hey, you've got to post it, and then you do it, and it has all the information there. So it's more of a planning tool, but it tells you best times to post for your specific channel. So you upload and link your channels, and it does the data and says, best time for you, 8 p.m., 7 a.m. So choose. And then what I'll do is every other day, one day I'll do early, the next day I'll do late, and just kind of stagger them just to see and reach people. Because I lived in Hawaii for so long. So I have a lot of people in Asia, in Australia, that tune in because I was up when they were up. Like they were just waking up. I was going to sleep. So I had to reach there. So for me, it's a kind of weird timing. So, because that's one of the number one questions. People are like, when should I post? Use Metricool, and that will tell you your best times, because everyone is different. I was surprised at some of mine. I wound up getting a lot of views that I was surprised at, like at night. So I was like, all right, this nighttime is good, or super early in the morning. Again, for me. For you guys, it could be something different. Yeah. So then, and again, the final things, trending audio, we already talked about, the filters, special effects, and then tag influencers mentioned in your video. Don't tag them if they're not in it. That's the quickest way for you to get banned and not get views, because people will report you. They don't like it. So only tag the people that are in your video. So yeah, so the monetized reels, the Groove, that will get you this whole document here, which is the step-by-step. And I'm actually going to add stuff to it. So we'll update it and then we'll blast it out when we add to it. Probably some of the things from this masterclass here. And then I just want to scroll up to make sure we went over everything. This real quick is a screenshot. So it shows you a better image. This is Spark Camera app. This is the SmartMike Plus app. So those are my 2 favorite ones. This, by the way, is this little bonus tip here. If you ever want to share your screen and record your screen, this is called Record It. I don't know if this is a paid or free, but worth it if it's paid. Oh, I was waiting for the dog. It's like it's at that 90-minute mark. The landscapers are here, right? So Donna's like, yep, I'm going to mute myself so you can hear my dog. But yeah, so this is the Record It app here. I love this, especially if you are teaching people how to do things. The Recorded app is fantastic for that. ClipScribe and Descript are my two favorite editing tools that help you get your auto captions in there so that you don't have to do it manually. So there's no longer upload CRTs. I use either ClipScribe or I use Descript. Descript is a little bit more expensive. ClipScribe you can get in for like $9 a month. So that's, again, this is just workflow. So I just wanted to show you a few things here. And then we started off earlier, but this is just a visual of the tripod, the SmartMike Plus. And then this is what you would put on a tripod if you're using the mobile mounting. So if you're using an iPhone or Samsung, you just put that on top of your tripod and then you're good. And then, by the way, this is the other alternative. If people have this, this is just as good as the Sabinitech SmartMike Plus. The only thing, it doesn't have the cool app to make you look better, smart better, all that good stuff. So that's my workflow. That's a bunch of hot tips. That's the playbook. And that's what they say is a wrap in show business. Any other questions or thoughts or...
I feel like I have so much to go with now. I do want to share with the community because, when you have goals and you decide that you want to accomplish them, it's good to share those goals with people. So I'm going to tell you and everyone else who is listening what I plan to do with this information. I am going to spend 15 minutes, which is roughly what you said, to watch all of those Spark app videos and learn how to use that app. So I'll schedule that for today and get that in. I am going to read the Monetize Reels ebook cover to cover and then use it to go through step by step. I'm going to check out the app Reel Trends and the Trend Talk apps that you recommended. And I am going to post one reel per day that I am on the Marketer's Cruise.
Love this.
So those are my goals. Even before that, I am going to take the information that you gave me and record a welcome video and a sketchbook flip through for my YouTube channel. So hold me accountable, and I'll think of something. I'll be tarred and feathered publicly if I don't get one YouTube video up before this time next week. That's my goal. That is a huge goal. It might seem like a small thing for some of you, but that is a huge goal for me. So that's my goal.
It's excellent. And I love it. It's like, that was kind of a recap of here are the things I'm going to apply. And remember, this is something I've said since day one, your first video is your worst video. So get it over with. Same thing with your reel. Your first reel is going to be your worst. Like, every day that you do this, by day 30, you'll be a pro. So just get over some, like, even myself, some of the things that I did, I'm like, I've held so many back. I've had some in the summer. I'm like, no, don't. And it's like, you're supposed to be a pro, Deb. So all of the mental stuff goes in my head, just as like yours. It's like, I can't put that up. You're supposed to be a pro. But it's like, you know what? I got over that. And I'm like, I'm going to put some of the ones up that have some flaws or some of the things that I don't like, or I don't look that great. Like the one that I did in Dr. Summers' office, like, this is where having a producer, I'm like, I was all like bunched up and I was like terrible on that seat, but I'm like, but it doesn't matter because it's the message. And by the way, it's so quick. Nobody really cares as much as you do. So get over any of the flaws. It's not going to be perfect right in the get-go anyway, but the more you practice, the more you get feedback, the more you do it, and you're getting views along the way. I'd love to hear the feedback of like, okay, here's what I did day one reels. Here's the results. Here's what I did when I did a trending audio. It's same reel. So that's the other thing. We'll upload one with our own music and then one with a trending audio. And we're like, okay, never use my own music again. So I'd love to hear your stats as you do it. And then at the end of 30 days. And by the way, if you miss a day because something happens or you didn't get good Wi-Fi on the cruise, okay, shake it off, start. The next day, you just keep going. Because I say, hey, even if it takes you 45 to 60 days to get your 30 videos of reels, that's fine because you're doing it.
Well, here's the thing. If all I take is the, 30 seconds of the ship pulling into port, that could be my reel. It doesn't have to be a bunch of different videos. It would be great if I could take a bunch, but it doesn't have to be.
So that's a good point, because we talked about keeping it under the 58 seconds, that's secret, but not just 60 seconds, but you can do a 9-second. And especially if you do something that's like a loop. So be conscious of something that could be a start and finish, but you don't know that you finished it and you're still watching it. So this could be a sunset, or sunrise, the moon. I back in the day, it was Vine. If you remember when Vine, I think I got like 50,000 views on this one that I didn't get anywhere near that, compared. And it was the moon. And what I realized, it was looping. It was just showing this. It was the, full moon, whatever it was, like blood moon. And it was like a thing. Now it's like everyone's talking about the full moon or the blood moon or what, a red moon. But at the time, it was this loop. And I didn't realize, I created a loop. They didn't realize they were still watching the same video over and over. So anything you can capture that is a loop, that's great. So think about 9-second reels. That's a reel. That is a reel, right? So think about
that.
Yeah. It can be very simple, right?
That's my biggest takeaway from this session with you, Deb. Like, it almost makes me want to cry. It is making me cry. It's just that I can do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. I love this. This is awesome. This is why I do what I do. And by the way, this 9-second loop, what's beautiful about it, just find a trending audio, and there are way more 9-second video loops, audios for your video than there are the 60 seconds. It's actually harder to find the trending longer form. So the beautiful thing is, you're going to easily find the music that will match the mood. So whether it's the ship, like I can just see the ship pulling into port, and then you just put like a text over it. It's like, or we're leaving, bye, bye civilization, bye Wi-Fi, right? And then that's it. That's your loop. So
I can do this. Not only can I do it, I will do it. I am doing it. And I can't wait to tell you the results that I'm having and come back again and follow up with this.
I love it. And by the way, Jazz Hands is also deaf clapping. So
yes,
all my deaf friends watching, we are clapping for the fact that you're going to do it. You can do it. I love this. Thank you for having me on. And then I think we're going to do another show in March where we're really going to dive deep, aren't we?
Absolutely. And this is part of my continuing series this year, to share my journey. Whenever I reach a point where I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to call one of my friends and I'm going to get them on a webinar in front of you guys. Because the old way would be I'd learn it and then I would turn around and teach it. Nobody's got time for the old way. So the new way is I'm going to have someone teach me and teach you at the same time as a Groovester. So
this is awesome. That's a good series. I love this.
Right?
I love it. And then anyone who wants my workflow, that GDoc, it's a private GDoc, but just send me. So I think I'm going to ask you, follow me on IG because I want to build that channel up, and then just send me a DM and then I will send you the link for that GDoc.
So you're at Coach Deb on IG?
On IG. Yep.
I should probably do this. I should probably do this to my display name.
Oh yeah. If you notice, that's
yeah. I did just notice that. I did just notice that.
Yeah. And so when I used to speak back in like 2006 and Twitter first came out, this was my name placard on like a panel. It's like it's Donna Fox, Mike feels same, and then it would be at Coach Deb. And I was always like, no, it has to have the at, has to have the Coach Deb. It all has to be one word. So I encourage people to do that, because then they're like, oh, I know where to, Dr. Summers, if you're on a speaking panel, you put that's what you put on your name badge. Because then we're such a social society now, right? That was novel when I did it. Now it's like, hey, everyone wants to know where to follow you. Just give it to them easily. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. I was going to reach over yours, but you'll have to put your arm to show yours on.
Mine's right there. It's there. No, the other way around. It's
I'll go like this now. Put your arm so that it matches. But by the way, do fun stuff. Do different things. Be bold. Be daring, and just be brave enough to risk, being silly or daring, like with the Wonder Woman costume in art form, especially as an artist. Like, think about your brand, think about the archetype. You're a character for other people to tune in, and then just share your world, and you're going to attract the people that are like you as well. So that's the other thing for everyone. Like, oh, well, who's going to be, believe me, there are millions of people that look just like you, act just like you, talk just like you. If you've got an accent that you don't like, there's people that talk just like
New Jersey on us.
I threw my W's back into my words. I didn't know, by the way, that dog and talk and coffee didn't have a W until I went to college in Florida. And they're like, what? I was like, the dog. Like the coffee. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. So then I had to learn how to speak without the W's. So that's a conscious thing. I have a lot of people that English is their second language. I'm like, bravo, right? Like I'm not fluent in anything. And they're
Including
conscious
English.
about it. Like, use it. Yeah. Like just use it. Use your whoever you are, and just the TV, my producer in the TV show just was like, just exemplify it. You're still Coach Deb, but you're bigger. You're, again, it's to capture people's attention. So don't be boring. Whatever you do, don't be boring. That's the only don't on this. Don't be boring.
Don't be boring. I think I can manage that.
Awesome.
I'll try anyway. Thank you so much, Deb, for your time. Thank you for all of you that stuck with this. This has been a long training, but super valuable. I am so excited to dive in and to show you all the results and the ups and downs, of this journey. So,
yay! Aloha, everyone.
That, are we ready for GrooveZilla to sing us out of here?
Sing us out, GrooveZilla.
Okay, here we go.
Cue GrooveZilla.
As soon as I click the button.